What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Price Picks disc golf video. Um, Today, we're going to go over the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge best picks. Um, so, this is the first national tour event of the year. A lot of hype from the off season. I've spent some time refining my model over the off season, and one of the things that's really important for the next round to be aware of is the weather. There's going to be inclement weather, supposed to be around 20 miles per hour wind and wind gusts of up to high 30s miles per hour. Um, so pretty extreme, which obviously would make a lot of players shoot worse than they typically do. For Las Vegas, that's still above normal. Usually when they play this event, it's pretty windy, but still maybe a little bit windier. Um, so the only thing we can really do is look at history and look at some of these lines and compare it to that, which is what I did. So starting off, um, I looked at 2021 and 2022, gathered those data points for these players, and uh, really looked at round three. So if you look, this tournament set up slightly different, uh, whereas in the past, round three was the Millennium Course, which is what's being played tomorrow in round one. So that's that. There is a change from a par 61 to a par 60, and in general, there's a couple of holes that are slightly different. So it hasn't this exact layout hasn't been played before, but for the majority of the holes, they have been. Um, so I think overall, it got a tiny bit harder. Um, and then once you consider the weather, you know, also a little bit harder. Um, The one interesting thing is in 2021 they had pretty similar weather. Not as bad wind gusts, but still in the 20s miles per hour and wind gusts of up to 30. Um, so some of these players still scored really well over there. So I don't want to discount it too much because I do think a lot of these lines are already been bumped by Price Picks. I think um, they're already accounting for that. So it'll really all depend. So that's the one caveat before we start is depending on how bad the weather really is, we'll start to see that for the first few cards before these guys tee off. A lot of these guys are teeing off. They're the lead card or the chase card. So um, we'll be able to see that. And for that, it's important to follow me on Twitter. So there's a link in the description, but I'll be able to give you some updates based off what I'm seeing early on, and see if we need to pivot. But all that aside, based off just what the data, the model says, there's a couple good picks that I like today. The first pick being, where's he at? Corey Ellis. So Corey Ellis, um, at 57 strokes, I like the under on that or less. Um, he didn't play too good last year. He shot a 10.24 rated round, which was still a 56. So granted, last year the conditions were much better, um, but he shot almost 10 rating points below what he's capable of. So if he can even shoot his rating, which is 10.33, or even slightly above, he should be under that 57, no problem. Um, if he even shoots his rating, he has about a little over two strokes to play with. So I'm pretty high on Ellis from that department. He shot 12% under his season average from the fairways and 13% less than his circle one putting. So that's one of his specialties is that circle one. So I expect there to be some positive regression there for Ellis. Again, barring the weather. So second pick here I like is I'm gonna go with Anthony Barella. This one's also an under 56. Um, so again, Anthony Barella is actually, if you look at the history, he's consistently outperformed his rating at this tournament. So he plays this tournament pretty well. He shot a 54 in this course, round three in 2022, and a 51 in 2021, where there was slightly more wind. Um, so, he's definitely someone with the overstable disc, someone who can play in the wind. So 56 will put him in the low 1020s when right now he's almost a 1040 rated player. He's 1039 rated. So he definitely has a few strokes even just reverting back to the average. So um, that is who I like there for my second pick. In my third pick, with a similar train of thought, is Eagle McMahon under 54. So this one, the model had it pretty close. It was at 53.8 versus 54. So really, a kind of a toss up. Um, the thing here for me is Eagle has consistently outperformed a lot by a lot. So he historical event average. So just every round for every Las Vegas challenge, close to a 1060. Right now he's a 1043 rated player, and that 54 is around the 1040 ish mark. Um, and his lowest round or his lowest event ever was actually last year where he shot at a 1039. And this has already been bumped down a little bit as I was making my notes. He was at 54 and a half. Now he's at 54. Clearly, a lot of people liking that. But his high round was also 1077. So he's definitely one that performs well here. I expect him to continue that trend. He looked good in the Goat Hill. Uh, so those are my top three plays. Again, if you guys want to, I usually mix and match these. So I'll be playing like Ellis, Barella, Ellis, McMahon, Barella, McMahon. Um, two picks. But feel free to follow if you want. I'm interested to see what you guys think as well. And if you feel free to follow me on Twitter for any updates, because like I said, the weather being such a big variable in this tournament, uh, we'll definitely be able to find an edge from the early cards to see how big of a factor it's actually playing. So yeah, I appreciate the time, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.